everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing an interesting video. You would have already seen by the title, today we're going to be starting a 48-hour readathon. Now I've done, I think, 2 24-hour readathons with you guys on my channel, but I've done quite a few more than that. So I'm quite used to the 24 hours, but I really just wanted to read a lot basically, and I thought even if I do a 24-hour readathon, I'm just gonna read the next day anyway. So I decided to just do my first ever 48-hour readathon. So the day and time today is Wednesday at 11. We're gonna start this at 12. So we're gonna go from 12 on Wednesday to 12 on Friday. I'm nervous, but I'm also excited because I think I'm gonna be... Some lights fell down. I think I'm going to be able to get through a lot of my TBR and hopefully quite a few books, because on average I think I tend to do 3 books, like 3 middling sized books in a 24-hour readathon, so I'm hoping obviously that I can do double that in this 48-hour readathon. I have a lot more than 6 books in front of me, but I kind of just want to mood read throughout this. I don't want to have like too strict of a TBR, you know, I have these in front of me, but if I want to grab something off of my TBR cart that's calling to me a little bit more, then I'm totally going to let myself do that, because I don't want to run out of steam or anything. I want this to be as fun as possible because I am reading for such a long time, like straight. But I'll go through the books that I'm currently thinking are my options, and I'll just kind of explain my plans. So, first of all, let's talk about 2 of the books that were on my May TBR that you would have seen, hopefully you've seen, because it was a really fun video. Mimi! Oh no. Oh no. Say hello. She did not want to be there. So yeah, 2 of the books I'm planning to read, I was gonna say today, but no, over the next couple of days, is Happy Place by Emily Henry, and then Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. Both of these featured in my TBR video. I think Happy Place was under the prompt most recent purchase, and then this one was under continuous series. And I'm thinking I will definitely 100% read Happy Place, because I have a lot of fantasy options, and I believe this is actually my only romance option, really. So I'll definitely be picking this up. I'm a little bit intimidated by Clockwork Princess because it is like 570-ish pages, and I know that it's sad, so I am a bit intimidated, so I'm kind of debating picking this one up nearer the end so that I don't finish it, but I read like half of it. That's kind of my plan with this one, but then the other option is to read it first and just like get it out of the way. So, you know, I'll let you guys know what I do. And then one of these books I want to read so that I can take it back to the library, because I finished the other library book I currently have out. And that is Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. This is the first book in a fantasy duology, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what it's about. I feel like I never know what any of the books I talk about are about. But I got this out from the library and I do want to read it, so I thought this would be a great opportunity to get it done. Again, I'm a bit intimidated because she's also a very big book. I think she's around 500 pages. So, you know, completely doable. I think I usually read 3 400-page books in a 24-hour readathon, so this isn't that much more, but it is a fantasy. It's the first book in a fantasy duology. I've never read from this author before, so it might just, you know, I'm worried it will take me a minute to get into it. I feel like we're a bit dark. Hold on. There we go. A little bit brighter. But that is my next option. And then one that I've been specifically saving for a readathon, because I think it will just be so fun, and I think it will be perfect for when it's late in the evening and I'm starting to get tired, but I still want to try and get through another book. And that is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the first book in the, I think it's the Naturals series, to be honest, and I've basically heard this be pitched as like a YA Criminal Minds, but I also think all of the main characters have like a special power. But it's basically like a mystery crime book, I think, and these obviously are usually so fast-paced and quick that I think this will just be perfect for like 11 o'clock at night where I want to stay up and keep reading, and then this will just be really fun and fast-paced and quick, I think. Then a bit of a rogue pick, but I'm really trying to cross off loads of books that I'm currently reading on my Goodreads, because there's just a lot on there that have been racking up. I've just been starting books and not finishing them, and it's not to say I haven't been enjoying them, I just kind of get distracted with other books and pick up other books and then don't finish the ones I'm currently reading. So I do want to see if I can finish An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. I managed to get 56 pages into this one, and it is a pretty short book, so I do believe I'd only have 250 pages of this one to read, so I thought it could balance out, you know, one of those bigger books and maybe make it a bit more possible for us to read another book, because I only have 250 pages of that one to read, and I definitely was enjoying it. It just seems like, for me, if I take a book on holiday with me and I read it on holiday, I won't touch it when I get back. And it's gonna sit there for months and I'm not gonna read it, and that's exactly what's happened, so I'm gonna try and get through that today. Then I want to just talk about some different books I have on other formats, or just some potential maybe options if I feel bored with those books I just spoke about. So to start with, I've been reading City of Brass on my Kindle. This is the book pick for the Wyverns, I say Wyverns, and it is Wyverns. Wyverns and Words book club, held by Katie is reading and Cass, I forget her channel name. But yeah, this is the first book in another fantasy series. It's an Egyptian set fantasy series during the Ottoman Empire, which is very interesting. I started reading this when I was getting my tattoo done the other day. So I thought if I want to change a format again, even though this is quite a heavy book, because it's like a really rich fantasy, you know, if it is late, I can just lay on my side with the Kindle and just read it, and I thought that would be nice. I do also have, is it Reckless? I think it might be Reckless by, hold on, bear with me. Nope, I have Powerless by Elsie Silver. I don't think I'll pick it up, but you know, the option is always there. And then on my phone, I do only have, I think, about 2 hours left of another book that was on my May TBR, which was the audiobook. Yeah, I have an hour and 45 minutes left of Hunting Prince Dracula. So it is an option that we listen to this and do a bit of a puzzle, if I want to, you know, give my eyes a little bit of a break from books and do some listening instead. And then finally, just really quick, you would have seen these also in my May TBR, I do have Scythe and The Year of the Witching to read if I want to. I don't think I'll get around to these two. I think I'll leave these for after the readathon to give me something from my TBR to keep reading throughout the rest of the month. But those are my options. So that was a very long clip because I had a lot of books to talk about. But that is my plan. I don't really know which one I'm gonna start with. I definitely want to leave The Naturals and Happy Place to a bit later, so we're gonna start with the fantasy for sure. But I don't know which one. I guess you guys will find out when we start the readathon in 50 minutes. I'm gonna stop rambling. I will see you guys at 12 to begin the readathon. It is now 12 o'clock, so I'm gonna start my timer or my stopwatch, and we're gonna start with Clockwork Princess, and I have a little ASMR like room thing going on, and yeah, let's just get started. This is a bit of a boring angle because I'm literally just in front of like a white wall. So apologies for that, but I wanted to do a little bit of an update because we are now 2 hours and 5 minutes into the readathon, and I've been making some very steady progress. So I am 214 pages into Clockwork Princess. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. I'm basically reading about, you know, 100-ish pages per hour, which is really good. So I'm on schedule to finish this book at 6 tonight, which is kind of crazy. You know, like, yes, it's a big book, but reading one book for 6 hours is kind of mad. But I am very excited about this. I am definitely enjoying it. I think it's just so nice to go back into a world that you're so familiar with. I definitely read, you know, I read the second Clockwork Princess at some point last year. I think it was more in the middle of last year though. I actually think I read both of them last year, but I would say like in the earlier half of the year. So it's been a little bit since I've been in this world, especially with these characters, and I was worried I would maybe get a little bit confused or something, but it's honestly been fine. I've fallen right back into it. The plot and everything is just slowly starting to come back to me, which is good. And it's just kind of a fun time. It's definitely, you know, intense. There's definitely, maybe it's because I know how it ends, but there's kind of like a somber overtone to the whole thing. But I'm definitely enjoying it a lot. And I'm just, you know, excited to be finishing the trilogy finally, and then I can move on to the Lost Hours trilogy, which is fun. I own all 3 of those, but I haven't read them yet. But yeah, I'm not gonna even talk about what I'm gonna read next because we still have another 4 hours-ish, maybe 4.5, because I will have to take a break to eat and stuff. Like, I'll read when I eat, but I'll have to make the food and stuff. So we'll probably finish this at about 6:30, so I'm not even gonna think about what I'm gonna read next. I'm just gonna keep up my momentum with this. The plot has just got, like, literally, I've stopped in the middle of, like, the most action-packed plot bit yet. Although I will say this book went straight into some like action-y plot, which I kind of loved. Really got you like sucked in right away, but honestly it wasn't hard for me to get sucked in. The only thing I'm struggling with, and it's not, it would be if I'm reading any book, is just that I wasn't in like the hugest of reading moods. So I'm kind of having to force myself to be like, nope, just keep reading, like don't put down the book and pick up your phone, just keep reading. But I think I'm getting into it now, you know, 200 pages, 214 pages in like 2 hours and 5 minutes is pretty good. But obviously we are now nearing on 2 hours and 10 minutes. I'm going to take a little bit of a quick break, I think, and then I will get back to reading probably in about 5 minutes. So yeah, that's my update, and I'll probably get back to you guys because I'm a third of the way through the book now, so I'll probably give you guys an update when I'm about 400 pages in and see how we are feeling. Okay guys, back for another update. I got tired, so I had to go and get a drink. I just want to know, what's a Juneberry? Because I don't know what a June berry is. Anyway, so it's now 4:30, which means, I don't know why I'm going to check, which means we're 4.5 hours into the readathon. And it also means that I would say, in the grand scheme of things, we're almost done with Clockwork Princess. I have been reading a lot, and it's getting good. It's really picking up. I feel like we've kind of been left on a cliffhanger with one of the things that have happened, and I know it's going to get resolved in this book, but like the time it's taking for it to be like mentioned, I'm like, hello, talk about it please. But hold on. Oh, that is sweet. Holy crap, that's really like sugary. What was I gonna say? This book is 558 pages, no, 68 pages long. And I'm on page 403, so I have about 165 pages left, which isn't a lot. I do think we'll be able to get it done by 6. Oh. By 6. Just gives me an hour and a half. I think that's doable if I knuckle down. But yeah, really loving it. I have now thought about what I'm going to pick up next, which we will talk more about when I finish Clockwork Princess, but I think I'm going to do an Enchantment of Ravens, just so I can get through something quick that I've already started, you know, just something a little bit more chill, and then we might go for a genre change. But we'll see how we get along. I'm going to go and finish Clockwork Princess now. Expect tears in the next clip. I presume they will be coming. It's 6 o'clock, 6:03. I finished it a few minutes ago though. Wow. As you would have seen, I cried. The epilogue is very sad. I mean, yeah. The epilogue was just really sad. I don't know what else to say about that. But it was also obviously really good. I'm gonna save all of my ratings for all of the books for the outro of the video, I think. So I'm gonna keep you guys hanging a little bit, but just know I really enjoyed it. And I'm sad I've finally finished this trilogy, but I am intrigued for, you know, the rest. Right here. The rest of the series. So also I put you guys up here so that you could see. I'm going to create a little stack of finished books for the readathon right here on top of my shelves. But since it's 6, we can definitely get a lot more reading done. But I want to just, like I said, do something chill and low-key. So I'm going to do an Enchantment of Ravens next, I think. And then after that, maybe we'll do a little bit of a genre change and read Happy Place before bed, maybe. But right now, this is going to be my plan. I'm just going to chill and read an Enchantment of Ravens. I thought I would give you guys another little bit of an update. Excuse the appearance. I did take a shower just to make me feel, you know, a bit fresher and stuff. But I had been reading Enchantment of Ravens before that, and we are now at 7 hours and 14 minutes. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I read about 100 pages of this, which has put me at the halfway mark. And I'm definitely enjoying it. We're getting into a little bit more of that like traditional folklore kind of telling of fairies, which I do like a lot. I'm sensing a little bit of insta-love, which is a little bit annoying, but at the same time it is quite a short book, so if she was going to do romance, I guess it would have to start sooner rather than later, because there's not a lot of pages to play around with that. My hair looks so weird when it's wet, because bits are dark, bits are already drying, so they're light, I don't know. But yeah, so I think I should be done with this book by 9 is my prediction. It's 20 to 8 now, obviously, because we're 7 hours and 40 minutes through the readathon and we started at 12. So I think we will be done with this at 9, so not very long, and I am intrigued to see where the rest of this book goes. It's already diverted from what you assume it's going to be about in the first like 50 pages. I'm wondering if we'll like get back round to that, or if it's kind of finished with and we're just going to be doing like the new stuff now. But yeah, I'm just going to chill here and keep reading this book and wait for my hair to dry a little bit, because it's looking a little bit crazy. I mean, it literally looks so crazy. And I will get back to you guys probably when I finished this one, because it's not too long. Also, I did take the second skin off of my tattoo, so I might try and get like a clip of that at some point so you guys can see it, because I am very happy with it and I'm very impressed with it. But yeah, I will get back to you guys later on when I have finished the second book of the readathon. Okay everyone, I'm back again for another update. I feel like I'm not updating you guys enough, but we are now 9 hours and 2 minutes into the readathon, and we have finished the second book. We finished An Enchantment of Ravens. I really enjoyed this one. I think it was just like a chill, kind of low stakes-ish little fairy book, you know? I think it pulled heavily on like the traditional like creepy and scary folklore. I hate this angle. Oh my god. Let me get further back. Yeah, I don't know, like everything was kind of like creepy and weird and gross. Like she was being handed these desserts, but they were glamoured, so when she touched them they just turned into like this like mouldy, gross food. And I feel like that was just kind of like the vibe and the energy of the whole book. But I did really enjoy it and I'm glad I read it. Oh, you can't actually see, but we're just going to add her to the pile right there. And I've already picked out our next book, which we're obviously going to pick up right now. And I'm hoping maybe I can finish it before I go to bed. I know it's 9, but I was planning to sleep at like 1 or 2, so maybe. But in case you didn't just see it in my hand like a second ago, we're going to be reading Happy Place by Emily Henry. I feel like I've just read like, what, 800-ish pages worth of fantasy, so I feel like I need a little bit of a change in genre. So we're going to pick up Happy Place, which I believe is about, it's like a second chance romance, I think. Basically every year this like group of friends go on this holiday, because I think one of their families owns like this beach house or something, or like a cottage, I don't know. And there's a couple within this group and they all need to go on this holiday one last time because where they're staying is up for sale. But what they haven't told all of their friends is that they actually broke up. So for this trip they're just going to pretend that they're like still together so that they can have this one nice trip in this place that they always go to. But I'm assuming they're going to kind of like rekindle things while they're there and realise that they love each other. I don't know, but I've heard really, really good things about this one. I think it's a lot of people's like second favourite after Beach Read, so I'm very excited for this one and I'm definitely gonna go and start it right now. And let's see guys, maybe I will be able to finish this book. wanted to give you an update. I feel like I have lost... She got a cat. I feel like my reading momentum has significantly decreased. But to be fair to me, it's... hold on, why can I never... oh my god. We are 12 hours and 10 minutes into the readathon, so that does mean it's midnight, guys. And I just had dinner, I know, very late. But I was in my reading mood. And I have made progress. I mean, since I've last spoke to you guys, I've made loads of progress, but I was expecting to be like maybe 100 pages deeper into this book. So I'm on page 172 of Happy Place, and I have to admit I'm really enjoying it. And I've only read one other Emily Henry book, which is obviously Beach Read, which I read in my last vlog. But I feel like Beach Read, there's such a somber overtone, not even an undertone, guys, an overtone to this book. We've kind of got like a dual timeline where we've got the present day, which is when they're at the beach house and they're pretending to still be together for their friends, and then we have past timeline, which is kind of like one of the first times they were all at the beach house together, and it's like, or it's kind of the timeline where they've just started like falling in love and dating. And I feel like because of that and the contrast we're seeing of them like literally falling in love and then them, you know, trying to like, I guess, come to terms and be around each other when they're out of love, is like really sad. And I love Emily Henry for that, don't get me wrong. I think that's what she does best. Like, this is the vibe of all of her books, and I love that, and I pick them up for that. Now, obviously, this is my second time reading one of her books, but it is definitely sad, so I don't think it's like paired well with this time of night, because I'm just kind of reading it like deep in my whole existence. That being said, I would like to maybe get 100 pages more done. Is that English? 100 more pages done? Yeah, I think it is. I don't know. Yeah, I'll probably stop reading at like 1 or 1:30. So hopefully I can get like another 100 pages at least into this one. But yeah, I'm gonna keep reading more of this. Don't get me wrong, I know I've said there's a huge somber overtone, but already like strong 4-star feels at least. I'll have to see how the rest of it goes to see if it's going to be Beach Read tier and be a 5-star read, but for now I am thoroughly enjoying it and I'm very excited to get back into it, I have to admit. I feel like I get the most writing inspiration when I read books like Emily Henry's or Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez or The 7-Year Slip, like really deep and sad like romance books like this. I find them really inspiring, so I'm very much enjoying this read. But I will probably update you guys now in the morning, maybe before I start the rest of my reading tomorrow morning. But, you know, I just wanted to update you guys because that's kind of where I'm at. It's 1 AM. Anyway, I wasn't going to update you guys again tonight, but I am, because I just had a mental breakdown to this book. And like, no. It's not even a super sad part, but I just like couldn't keep my emotions in anymore. I feel like Emily Henry books, for me at least, like the plot and what they're saying is sad. It is sad, but I find it even sadder because because it like makes me reflect on my own life, and I either like imagine if like I went through the scenario of the book and how it would make me feel, or it makes me just think about elements of my own life. And for me, that's what makes it sadder. Like, the most I cry at Emily Henry books is when I read something and then I just stare off into the distance and like relate it to myself.
Very hardly comes on, like what?
And like that's when I cry a lot. That's all I had to say. I'm gonna keep reading because Leon's like gonna play a game, so I'm just gonna read until he comes to bed. I'm so sleepy.
We're on 23, 41, 22, 80.
Anyway, so I've had an interesting morning. It's now 11:42. I did wake up at 8 AM. I just want to put this out there. I did try. I did wake up at 11 AM. Nope. At 8 AM, and I was awake for 2 hours. And I did do some reading, but before we do that, I did finish a book last night. We stayed up until 2 AM? Half 2-ish. And I did finish Happy Place by Emily Henry. So I feel like my reading failed this morning. It's kind of made up for by the fact that I did manage to finish this book last night. So I feel like I've kind of balanced myself out. I don't know what's going on with my French. I think I slept on it funny. Ignore that bit, guys. But yeah, I did finish this. It was phenomenal. As you would have seen, I had a little bit of an emotional breakdown. But this was a really, really good book. And I think it's my favourite so far of the readathon. So, you can't see again, but we're just going to add her to the stack. And then let's talk about this morning. So I woke up at 8 AM, tired, and at about 8:30 I was ready to start reading. And so I picked up Dance of Thieves, and I did manage to read at that point, I think about 38-ish pages, and then I was, you know, still reading in bed at that point. It was dark because Leon was still asleep, and I was like, I'm really tired and I'm not making my way through this fast enough. So I got up and I had a look at what was on my TBR cart, and I picked up Love on the Brain, and I read 16 pages. And then I was like, no, this doesn't feel right. I want to read all of Dance of Thieves, and then maybe I can read this book later. So then I picked Dance of Thieves back up. I picked Dance of Thieves back up, and we read until we hit page 100. But then I was just like, I am so tired, so incredibly tired, that I thought, I think I'm going to be more productive in the long run if I just go back to sleep for 2 hours. And you know what? That's fine, because I slept from 2 to 8. That's only 6 hours. Just saying. So, you know, I slept again for a little bit longer, and that takes us to where we are now. As for the plan for right now, I think I'm going to go to the post office because I have a parcel to collect, and then come back. I'm going to make us some breakfast, and then we are going to try and read literally the rest of Dance of Thieves, because it's 500 pages long. I've read 100, which means we have 400 pages of this one left. So hopefully I should be able to get that done by like maybe 5 or 6 this evening, and then we can try and get through the naturals and Love on the Brain with the remainder of our time. For this readathon, I did say I wanted to do 6 books. I think that's doable, maybe even 7 if I listen to the audiobook as well. But yeah, that's my immediate plans. Gonna go to the post office, gonna have some breakfast when I get back, and then read as much as I possibly can. So once again, I of course have been reading, because I'm not sure if you guys knew this, but I'm doing a readathon. But it's 2 PM now, which means we are 26 hours into the readathon. So we are a little over halfway, and I'm struggling with this book. It's not bad, it's just like taking me a lot to get through it. That's obviously Dance of Thieves. So it's now 2 o'clock. I think I last spoke to you at 12, and I've only read another 100 pages. It's taking a little bit longer than I was hoping for it to take, and you know, that's not a problem. I don't have anything against books taking me a little bit longer to get through. You know, I've got some very solid like 4 stars that have taken me a lot longer than some other books, such as Emily Wild's Encyclopedia of Fairies. If you remember me reading that in my vlog, it took me like over a week, I think, or around a week to get through it, and for me that's kind of slow. And I think if I was reading this not in the readathon, this would be the same case. I'm gonna take a break now, a puzzle break. I'm gonna do a little bit of this puzzle while I finish off my audiobook. And then once we're done with that, I'm gonna have a think about if I want to continue this book in the readathon or if I want to pick up something a little bit faster and then we can get back to this after the readathon. I'm not sure. But for now we have about an hour and 40 minutes of my audiobook and puzzling to do, so I'm going to do that because then we can cross off another book for the readathon and then maybe we will go into something else. I'm definitely enjoying it. It's very interesting. I am intrigued in the plot and the characters a lot. It's just too slow for a readathon, I think. Which is annoying because obviously I have read 200 pages of this, but I do feel like in the time it's taken me to read those 200 pages, I probably could have finished like a romance book. So that's kind of my thought process. Maybe I'll try and read some other books and then we can just read as much of this as we can tomorrow morning. I don't really know, but I don't really see myself finishing this book in the readathon, which is unfortunate. But yeah, we've got 1 hour and 40 minutes left of hunting Prince Dracula. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this off, and I've already done half of this puzzle before. So past me did make it a little bit easier, and I do have like the edge pieces in a little bag and stuff, so you know, I should be able to get a decent amount of this puzzle done. What's that, Winnie? What's that? She's been scared of the fan a lot, but it's on right now and she's starting to get braver because she's on the bed. Last week, she was hiding right by the toilet in the bathroom, and now she's actually on the bed. So we're making good progress with the fan, guys. But I'm gonna go do my puzzle, finish another book, which I think will also just get me more into the readathon mood of today because I would have finished something and I think that's going to spur me on. So that's what I'm going to go and do. So what was I going to talk about? I finished Hunting Prince Dracula. I can never remember the name of that book. I finished it, it was really good. I've been really enjoying the audiobooks and the narrator. She's good. And this one was definitely interesting, and once my credit comes through on the 25th, I will be getting Escaping Houdini. But we did that, we did a whole bunch of the puzzle, but that's only because those pieces were sorted for me by me from a year ago. So that was useful. But now I'm at the point where, like, the rest of the puzzle just seems impossible. But I got a couple of other books out from my, like, library audiobooks, you know, like BorrowBox and Libby. I got 2. I got an Enchantment of Ravens by Rebecca Ross. And I got Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher, I think. So I'll probably listen to those over the weekend and do more of the puzzle. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to decide what we should read next. I do feel like I should pick this up, but I know if I pick it up, I'm probably going to be reading it until tomorrow, honestly, at this point. Like, it's very slow to get through. Like, when I was awake this morning, I read 100 pages in 2 hours. For me, that is incredibly slow reading. That's like double my normal time, so I feel like it's just not smart to read that for the rest of the readathon. But I do feel sad, and it almost feels like I shouldn't read anything else because I did start that one and I am enjoying it. But I think I just need to bite the bullet and start a different book and see where that takes us. So I was going to save this for a little bit later, but it seems like a bit rainy outside, and I think it'll take me a few hours to read anyway. I think I'm going to start The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, sorry, there's an S on the end. I obviously just listened to Hunting Prince Dracula, which is kind of within the same realms as this. Obviously they're like Hunting Prince Dracula is like historical crime mystery book, and I think this is more modern day, but it's that same, you know, kind of mystery genre. I think it's going to be so quick and easy to read. I mean, the size of the font on the pages, the nature of the book, and the fact that it's only 300 pages is going to make it very quick and easy to read. So I predict I'll be done around 8 p.m. with this one, and then we can see what we want to do from there. It's not that I don't want to read, I'm just feeling really uninspired by the rest of the books I have picked out. I feel like I read all of the good ones first. I feel like I should have started with Dance of Thieves to get it done. Anyway, whatever. I'm going to read The Naturals now, and I am actually quite excited. I'm going to put on a little ASMR room, I think, on my laptop with like some rain and a fire, and read this one and hopefully get into that readathon vibes. But 4 books down, hopefully at least like 2 to go, hopefully. Once again in this spot, only 2.5 hours later. Well, from when I last spoke to you. No, from when I started this book. Basically, this book took me like 2.5 hours to read, which is kind of crazy, but I finished The Naturals. It was really good. It kind of felt like, people say it's like YA Criminal Minds. I've never watched Criminal Minds, but I have watched NCIS. Is that what it's called? I think so. Like, or is it CSI? No, NCSI. Right? Crime Scene Investigation. Yeah. NCSI, CSI. It felt like that. If you haven't watched Criminal Minds but you have watched those, it literally feels like watching an episode of those. Like, even the way I was kind of visualizing everything going down, it's just like you're following a slightly different perspective than that of just like an investigator, if that makes sense. But it was so good. I'm definitely going to try and get my hands on the next book soon because I really, really enjoyed it. And I'll obviously be continuing the whole series. I believe there's 4 books. Yep, we'll be reading. The next one's called Killer Instinct, so we'll be getting my hands on that. But you can kind of see now we're getting taller, but actually you can't quite see. But there we go. The stack is evolving, and that is obviously our 5th book finished of the readathon, and it is 6:41, So we are 32 hours, I believe. Hold on. I can't do maths. Apparently we're only 30 hours in. So we have another 18 to go. So I think we're going to go back to a book I started this morning, and hopefully this one should not take me very long to read at all. And that is Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. I really just don't think I feel like picking up Dance of Thieves again today. So we're going to go for Love on the Brain. And hopefully we can finish this and maybe read something else. Perhaps. We shall see. But this is my next plan of action. I'm just going to read this for the rest of the evening. Hopefully I get it done tonight. I'm on chapter 2, like I said, I'm on page 17, so I really didn't get far. I didn't even mark it as reading on my Goodreads. So I'm going to do that, sit and chill with this. I usually get through Ali Hazelwood books very quickly. This book is 350 pages. So I'm predicting 3.5 hours maybe to get this one done. So let's just see how we got on with it, and then we can discuss what book we'll probably end up finishing the readathon on. But we're going to do a little bit of this right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here once again for the 6th time in the last, I don't even know how many hours. Hold on, what hour are we on? In the last 34.5 hours, I have finished Love on the Brain. I read this very quickly, I'm not gonna lie. I've just deeped it, it's only 10:30. And I finished this. When did I start it? 8? 9? Not 9, surely not 9. 8. Maybe, I don't know. I really enjoyed this one. I don't think this is typically anyone's favourite, and I wouldn't go as far to say it's mine, because this is now the 4th, the 4th Ali Hazelwood book I have read. But it might be my favourite. It might be my favourite, guys. It's making me rethink my Love Theoretically rating. I annotated this one? Since when? I don't know, guys. Love Theoretically is pretty good. But yeah, I don't know which one's my favourite, but all I know is that this was really good. My friend read this and only gave it 3 stars, but I'm not gonna lie. You won't find out until the readathon is done, but I'm thinking something a little bit higher than that, I have to admit. Being 34 hours into the readathon means we have 14 left. Yeah, 14 hours left. Obviously I'm probably gonna sleep for like 6 of those, 7 of those. So I don't know realistically if we have time to finish another book, because I'm probably, not gonna lie, not gonna read for like an hour. Just gonna chill, have dinner, because I've read 6 books in the last 34.5 hours, and I'm losing my mojo a little bit. But we get to add this one to the pile, which is the most fun part of this whole readathon. But let me just... Are you enjoying this really wobbly footage? Oh my god, I can't keep it steady. Anyway, here are our 5 physical books, and obviously we listened to basically an hour and 40 minutes of another book. I don't know what I'm going to read for the rest of the readathon, but presumably it's going to be a singular book. But I don't know. I'm going to take my time to chill, have some dinner, and then... Honestly, I'll probably talk to you guys tomorrow, but I'm sure I will figure out what I want to read. So it's now the next day, and it's 9:40. I don't think they can see me. No, they can't. It's now 9:40, which means we have just sounds a bit slow. Having some kiwis for breakfast. But that means we have 2 hours and 20 minutes left of the readathon. And I have been reading this morning, and I'm now on page 300 of Dance of Thieves. I just decided to go with that one this morning. I didn't read anything else last night, but I decided to just go with Dance of Thieves to make it easier, because I didn't think I'd be able to start and finish a whole new book in the time I had left anyway. But I do only have 200 pages left of Dance of Thieves, so I feel like there's a 50-50 chance that I could finish it today before the readathon ends. So yeah, I'm gonna eat my kiwis, and oh my god, this is like very solid kiwi, holy crap. I just cut that so badly. Oh my god, what am I saying? I'm gonna eat my kiwis and try really hard to finish Dance of Thieves. I can't lie to you guys, I have been more skim reading it, like not completely, but I'm definitely skipping through some parts that I feel like aren't super important and are just like a bulk of description, and it's helping me stay a lot more interested in it and get through it a lot faster. So I'm gonna keep doing that. I need to charge my battery for when we finish this video, and yeah, I'm gonna go and read now. Hopefully we can finish the book. I am finally back. It's 1 PM. As you would have seen, I updated my journal. I did have another clip, but I actually forgot that the camera was filming, so it was filming for 44 minutes, so I had to delete that clip. But you would have seen a little bit of me updating my journal with all of the books that I read. We are finishing the readathon with 7 books finished. Literally insane. Didn't think I'd be able to read 7. That's crazy. But I have them all here in front of me, obviously apart from the audiobook, and we will just go through them one by one. I'll tell you my final thoughts, feelings, and ratings. So, let me just flip over my stack. The first book that we started and finished in this readathon is Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. This was so good. I ended up rating this one a 4 stars. Weenie. Oh no. Yes, I gave this book 4 stars all around. It was really good. I felt like the actual plot and like what they were working towards or to stop, or however you want to word it, I feel like it wasn't as prevalent as it was in the first 2 books, which I was maybe a little bit disappointed about. It seemed a little bit more character driven than anything else, but why am I so out of breath? But overall I really enjoyed it. Well, I think that's all I have to say, you know, that's it. Then next we finished An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. This I had read about 60 pages of, I think. Yeah, 58 pages, I think, of this one before we picked up again for the readathon. So I did read around 200 pages of this one. 240, I don't know, maths. But I did also really enjoy this one. I think it was just kind of like a silly time. There wasn't really any high stakes, at least for me. It's a very short standalone, you know, nothing felt too serious. There was a lot of the whimsy and stuff that we're used to with the traditional fairy folklore kind of stories, but then there was also kind of some more of the like creepier, scarier elements, which I really enjoyed. I did end up rating this one at 3.75. I think just because of its size and the fact that I did it softy and effort for about a month made it, you know, kind of sway my rating a little bit. And then the first, oh bless you, then the first 5-star of the readathon is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I loved this book. I adored this book. I think it was just so good. I loved the characters, I loved the plot. I think the 3rd act conflict wasn't too bad for me. You know, I'm quite fussy with them, they annoy me a lot, but this one was not too bad and I really enjoyed it. And yeah, I just loved Win and Harriet so much. It was so good. And as you would have seen, I had a little bit of a breakdown to this one, but it was all worth it in the end. 5-star read. It was incredible. And then I'll put a picture of it here, but then we finished Hunting Prince Dracula by Kerry Maniscalco. I think that's how you say it. This is the sequel to Stalking Jack the Ripper. It's the 2nd book in the series, and obviously it's a little bit more of like a thrillery mystery vibe, and I loved it. I love like mystery thrillers set in like Victorian England. I think they're just so fun. I don't know if this one is specifically in Victorian England, but it's like a while ago, you know, like it's kind of a historical thriller. And I enjoyed the setting of Romania and everything. It was just, yeah, really fun. I gave this one 4 stars. Obviously, I only listened to 1 hour and 40 minutes of it in this readathon, so we didn't read anywhere near the majority of it in this readathon, but I did finish it in this readathon, and it was very fun. And then after I read that one, I kind of wanted to stay in the thriller mystery, murder mystery vibes. So I read The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and this is our 2nd 5-star read for the readathon. I loved this book. For me, this felt like watching an episode of CSI. It was just so good. It was so fast paced. I think I read this book in about 2.5 hours. It was just, yeah, I love the concept of the naturals. So the naturals are basically these, I think there's 5 of them in the book. And they're these, I want to say kids, they're like teenagers. And they all have like powers almost that help in the world of like crime. So for example, our main character Cassie, she's a natural profiler. So she can like look at someone and tell basically everything about the person just by the way they're dressed, by the way they carry themselves, you know, things like that. And there's a few other powers present in this book, but I just really enjoyed that slight twist on your classic thriller story, and it was just so good, and I will be reading the rest of the series as soon as I possibly can. Then the next book we picked up was Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. This one surprised me because I think this tends to be people's least favourites of her books, if you don't include Bride. I think Bride was very hit or miss for people. Not for me, I loved it. But yeah, this one tends to not do as well in people's minds. I don't know why, because I loved it. It was so good, guys. It may be my favourite, and it's kind of making me rethink my rating for Love Theoretically, because I rated Love Theoretically higher, but I think I enjoyed this one more. I don't know, I'm kind of thinking in the realms of her just romances, not Bride. Bride is in a league of its own, because that one was my favourite. But this was so good. So we follow Levi and Bee, and they're both working at NASA on this like neurological helmet. Listen, I wasn't very good at science, okay? But this was so fun. I loved the characters. I liked Bee. We're gonna pretend that she wasn't wearing those galaxy leggings. Is that the reason it wasn't a 5-star? Maybe. Maybe, because galaxy leggings, I mean, I'm sorry if you wear them, but I cannot get behind galaxy leggings. But with that being said, I loved all of the characters, I loved the plot, I loved the background setting of NASA. I think that was so fun. And there's also like a little side plot thingy with this like secret Twitter account, which I also loved. I just enjoyed every aspect of this book, and I ended up giving it 4.5 stars. Like I said, the galaxy leggings ruined it for me, but I think this is maybe one of the best third act conflicts that she's done that didn't make me want to rip my hair out. Yeah. And then a book I really didn't think I was going to be able to finish, and I'm very impressed with myself for being able to get through this 500-page book, but that is Dance of Thieves. I know, I don't think anyone was thinking I was going to be able to finish this. I definitely wasn't when it took me 2 hours to read 100 pages, but the rest of the book, I actually finished this at 11:30, so I finished it a little bit early, which is crazy. But yeah, this is supposedly a fantasy duology, but I have to admit I saw no evidence of magic. I think it's just kind of set in a new world that isn't our world, but there's at least, I don't know, maybe it's introduced in the second book, but in this book, unless I wasn't paying attention, there's no magic. But it was fun. You know, we follow our characters Kazi and Jace, and I did really like both of them. I thought they were both fun. I didn't feel the romance vibes. I think this is kind of marketed as a fantasy romance. It was kind of lacking in both aspects for me personally. It was definitely fun and I enjoyed it, but I don't know if it was doing what it was trying to do, if that makes sense. I did end up giving it 3.5 stars. I will be reading the second one because it left on kind of a cliffhanger, and I'm intrigued. But it was definitely fun, like the characters. It was kind of, I don't know, it was just a bit slow to get through. But those are the 7? Oh my god, yeah, the 7 books that we read in this readathon. I will stop talking to you guys now, we can all go and relax. I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably read some more today because that's all I seem to do. But I had so much fun doing this one. It was nowhere near as difficult as I thought it was gonna be. I think in the morning of like the second day where we were reading for the full day, that was a little bit difficult to really like get into the book, which is why we struggled with Dance of Thieves. But I think if I picked maybe Love on the Brain to start off with first, maybe things would have gone a bit smoother. But other than that, it was incredible. I did think going into this that I wasn't gonna ever want to do a 48-hour readathon again, but I think I will because I had a lot of fun. But yeah, these are the books we read. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching me read all of these books. I can't believe we managed to get through 7. That is insane. I'm very proud of myself, but I will see you guys in my next video. Please comment and like and subscribe and all of those things, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.